Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART, time for Classic, and welcome to Hot Wheels Unleashed, a game developed by Milestones SRI, and it is using Unreal Engine 4, so I decided to take this game to the test on a GT 740M or a GT 920M. Well, the good news about it is that it actually runs. Now, the bad news is that the graphics that you need to use in order to play the game are a little bit lower. So I didn't show you the settings at the beginning because I'm an idiot and I forgot to show you off, but I will show you a little bit more forward into the game. But essentially, if you go with 720p low settings, you can expect that most of your experience will be under than 30 frames per second, and if you apply a resolution scaling of 50%, your experience will be way much better, with average close to 50 and minimums of 37. Now, one of the things that I did notice in this game when you are using 50% of resolution scaling is that my CPU was entirely maxed out, and obviously in this video it even got even worse because I was recording, but even without recording you can expect your CPU to reach 100%. It makes the things very consistent. So what I've decided to do for this video is that I will play through 3 different tracks. On the last lap I will apply a 30 frames per second lock so that you have an idea how it is to play with 30 frames per second with frame times being more consistent. Alright, now the low settings, it isn't really the lowest you can go. Alright, you can disable shadows, you can disable particle effects if you want, but honestly I wouldn't go through those options, because if you do that the game will feel very flat, all the lighting gets entirely broken, and the fact that it is not having particles, it is not really a big deal. But if you want, you can disable, for example, ambient occlusion, which seems a little bit broken with the low settings. But I decided to stick it up with the low preset anyway and only mess around with the resolution scaling. So one of the unfortunate things about this game is that the resolution scaling only allows you to select between 100% or 50 or 150, but of course you don't want to do that, but only 100% or 50. You don't have like 60 or 65 or 70. There is no granularity for you to select. It's just 50% or 100. For more expertise players that knows how to deal with internal Unreal Engine 4 config files, I believe that it is possible for you to use 60 or 70 if you mess around with the ini files or config files of the game. But what it is available in the graphical settings is just 50 or 100. So here's a performance that you can expect on Hot Wheels Unleashed. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video where I will be talking a little bit about the game, and let's go. So Hot Wheels Unleashed, I think it's an underappreciated game. I think the game it is excellent, but the stuff where these guys spend most of the time and doing a better job, it is something that only fans will notice. So first of all, regarding gameplay, this is a little bit like Mario Kart but without the power-ups. So basically you have a track and you drift, for example, to earn boost or nitro, wherever, so you can use to gain extra speed and just pass through the opponents, and that's pretty much that. Alright, this game have three great things in this game. First of all, it is really the graphics, which is not really hard to do it since the lighting is static, but even so the graphics are really something really good and it's not really that demanding. The second thing, for people that likes to create their own tracks, this game have one of the best editors I ever seen. I'm not going to show you in here, but you can search on YouTube for track editor on Hot Wheels Unleashed and you will be surprised with stuff that you can do in these track editors. So for people that like to create their own tracks, you will be sold, I can assure you of that. And third thing is, for the fans of Hot Wheels, this is a big deal because this contains a lot of models from the past since the early days, like the first model, the second, the third, as well as newer titles and newer models, I mean, and a lot of great models that were available. They are available inside this game, so that's really something that for people that love this type of stuff, it is really great. And the amount of detail that these guys did put inside into these cars, I mean, is really amazing. Unfortunately, you can only notice most of these details while you are not running the track, while you kind of view the cars close on a garage or something. When you do that, you can even notice scratches from the last race that you did perform, or stuff like fingerprints from the owner of the car inside the car. So there are really some incredible details that these games pack that most of us normal users that just want to play a racing game won't be able to notice. I only knew about this not because I ever noticed that, but mostly because I saw a video reviewing this game, and the guy showed that. I think it was IGN or GameSpot, I don't really remember, and I was so surprised with that, and also the track editor. It is really insane. But essentially, it's just that. I feel that most of the game should be mostly the same, so the same type of tracks, the same drift types. The only thing that does change over time is that you can perform some crazy stuff in here, like airborne controls that allows you to perform some nice and crazy shortcuts for you to take advantage of. And also the background scenarios that are like 5 or 6. I'm not really sure how many there are, but they do change a little bit how the track feels because of the changes in lighting mostly. But there are also some nice crazy things about the tracks that resembles a little bit of Trackmania, like playing the track upside down, because there are something that defies the gravity and makes your car being glued to the track, or some other random stuff that it is available, like having a spider in the top of the track throwing at you and the other opponents, some web stuff where you can get stuck. So there are some really nice cool things about this game that makes the tracks fresh, although there's that. Unfortunately, the game packs a little bit of monetization in form of loot box. You don't need to pay anything to get access to all the cars, although you will need to grind a lot, because every time you get access to a box, you might not get the car that you are missing out. So that's unfortunately one of the things that is bad about the game. Also, the second thing might be a little bit the price, because despite I do think that the game it is awesome, I'm not really sure if it is worth $49.99. I mean, if you are a purist of Hot Wheels and you kind of give credit for all the work that have been done with the models available, with the tons of details of the cars, if you give proper credit to that, I think it is worth it. But if you are going to play this game as a regular gamer that don't care about Hot Wheels, but you find this type of races fun, probably $49.99 might be expensive, because you won't be able to give the proper credit for all the efforts that these guys did put into the cars. Now, talking about the cars, each car have its own gameplay, which is interesting. The different types of nitro, different types of obviously turning, and they do differ a lot from each other. So each car have its own gameplay. That's why this video I was performing 3 tracks with the same car, because I was afraid to pick up a different car that was too different and I would play bad. And in fact, I do play bad in this game, because I barely know how to drift without hitting anyone or a corner. So I think that's all that I want to talk about Hot Wheels Unleashed. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye. performance.